2024, a meme coin explodes onto the scene. It's called MAGA, ticker Trump. In just weeks, it generates hundreds of millions of dollars in value.
Meanwhile, Trump's newly minted cryptocurrency soared on Monday to top $9 billion in market value.
But when blockchain analysts peel back the layers, when they look at the on-chain data, they find something disturbing. They discover that just before the coin was publicly hyped, a handful of insider wallets snagged a massive portion of the entire supply for pennies. And some of those wallets are directly linked to the Trump family. They were betting on the hype they knew they were about to create. While the public was piling in, dreaming of getting rich and pushing up the meme coin's value, the insiders were cashing out millions of dollars in profit.
His coin lost nearly 40% of its value as people dropped his to buy the Melania one. And so $7.5 billion worth of value had dropped. And now I guess both of the coins have crashed by like 50%.
Now, since Trump coin was launched the day before Inauguration Day, just a handful of big investors have made any money on Trump coin. An estimated 600,000 crypto wallets have lost a combined $3.9 billion.
This is the new playbook. It's high-tech, it's ruthless, and it's happening right under our noses. But do you think this is the first time? This isn't a new scandal. For you or me, a stunt like this is a one-way ticket to prison. Just ask Martha Stewart.
Martha is accused of insider trading, lying, and obstruction of justice.
She served 5 months in federal prison for one trade that saved her just $45,000. But in Washington, this isn't a crime. It's congressional insider trading. And what happened with the MAGA coin is just the 2024 version of a game that has been 100% legal in Washington for decades. To understand the new game, you have to understand the old one. This has always been the way. Let's go back to 2008. On September 19th, 2008.
Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight keeping them honest with your elected representatives in Washington doing things that might land you in jail if you tried them yourself, but not, as you'll see, if you're a member of Congress.
Congressman Spencer Bachus made a trade. It was a bet that the entire U.S. stock market was about to plummet. How did he know? Because the day before, he was in a classified meeting with the head of the Treasury and the chair of the Federal Reserve. He was told, in secret, that a meltdown in the global financial system was coming in days. He left the meeting, called his broker, and shorted the market. He knew.
While Congressman Bachus was publicly trying to keep the economy from cratering, he was privately betting that it would, buying option funds that would go up in value if the market went down. He would make a variety of trades and profit at a time when most Americans were losing their shirts.
And it was all perfectly legal. Fast forward to 2020. Senator Richard Burr, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, gets a secret briefing on COVID-19. He learns the truth. It's going to be a global disaster. So what does he do? He tells the public in an op-ed that the US is better prepared than ever. Then he dumps over $1 million in stocks right before the market implodes. But these are just the players. The final boss of the old game is Nancy Pelosi. Her husband, Paul Pelosi, bought millions in Nvidia stock options, right as she was personally overseeing the CHIPS Act, a law that would hand billions in subsidies to Nvidia. He wasn't betting on a stock. He was betting on his wife's legislation.
This is a free market and we are a free market economy that should be able to participate in that.
Do you see the pattern? Get the secret briefing, write the law, place the bet, cash out. But here's the terrifying part. All of this, Bachus, Burr, Pelosi, this was all in the stock market. A market that is, at least on paper, regulated. Today, the game has moved. It's moved to a place with no laws, no rules, no oversight. They've taken the old playbook and moved it to the new Wild West, crypto. And this isn't just a Trump family problem. The current members of Congress are masters of this new game. Let's look at the House Financial Services Committee. This is the literal group of politicians deciding the future of crypto regulation in America. Congressman Brian Mast past sits on that committee. He's been trading thousands of dollars worth of Solana and other cryptos while co-sponsoring the very bills that will decide their fate. Congressman Michael Collins, he bought up to $100,000 worth of Ethereum right during the hypersensitive period when the SEC was deciding whether to approve the very Ethereum ETF that would send its price soaring. They are setting the rules for a game they are actively betting on. It's like a referee betting on the Super Bowl while he's calling the plays. So how is this happening? How is this all legal? Because the insiders write the rules for themselves. For the stock market, they gave us the Stock Act. It was a law passed in 2012 after the public found out about Spencer Backus. It was supposed to ban insider trading by Congress. It sounds perfect, right?
Because this is a free market and people, we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that. We have a responsibility to report in the stock. But if people aren't reporting, they should be.
But it was a joke, a public relations stunt. It was a law written by the insiders for the insiders. It has two massive, glaring loopholes. First, the penalty, a $200 fine. Let me repeat that. You can get a classified briefing on a coming war, buy $1 million in defense stocks, make $500,000 in a week, and the penalty, if you get caught, is $200. That's not a deterrent. It's the cost of doing business. And the second, more insidious loophole, the one designed for Nancy Pelosi, this is the legal scam they run in the stock market. But as broken as that system is, crypto is 100 times worse. Because for crypto, there are no laws at all. The Stock Act doesn't apply. There is no $200 fine. There is no spouse loophole because they don't need one. There is no oversight. It is a complete legal gray zone, a lawless playground built for insiders. So what's the solution?
I've introduced bipartisan legislation with Senator Daines, who is also a member of this committee, to ban members of Congress from owning or trading individual stocks. They can still do the big mutual funds, but not individual stocks. We need to change the rules so that it is 100% clear that members of Congress are not going to be allowed to game the system.
More laws? The answer is far more complex than a stock ban. So what is the real game they're playing? It's not about meme coins or even a few $1 million. It is about a choice between the future of the country and their own bank accounts. Consider this: a politician can pass a tough law that secures America's tech dominance for the next 20 years, or they can kill that law and make $10 million in 2 months. Which option do you think they choose? They aren't thinking about the future of America. They are thinking about their own bottom line. And that makes them dangerous, because while they are busy lining their pockets, we are losing a much bigger war, a geopolitical war for the future. The 21st century will be defined by one thing: the technological arms race between the United States and China. The winner of this race wins everything. And what is this race? It's about the technology that powers money, blockchain, and the intelligence that controls everything. AI. Crypto and AI aren't separate. They are two fronts in the same war, the war for technological supremacy.
The number one factor that will define whether the United States or China wins this race is whose technology is most broadly adopted in the rest of
the Chinese competitors have evolved and advanced greatly over the last year, doubling, quadrupling their capabilities every year.
We want American AI stack, starting from the GPUs to the model, to everything on top.
That we need to be laser focused on competing to win.
GPUs, models, AI, and who is in Washington writing the rules for this race? The same people betting on the outcome. They aren't just placing side bets on the future of humanity. They are rigging the game. They create the tips with their own laws and then trade on them. They are front-running the future. They know AI and blockchain are the most powerful economic engines ever created. And they look at a briefing that decides the fate of civilization and see a stock tip. Let me know in the comments, what do you think the real punishment for this should be?